Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bowles Theory of Everything. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon in England. In April, it's so unusual. In my last video, I gave you a taster of the biannual changes bowlers have to make when moving from indoors to outdoors and back again. It was a bit light-hearted, and for that reason, I might have overemphasized the difficulties of bowling outside. Don't worry, I'm here to give you all the tips you need to master those outdoor greens. Firstly, the speed adjustment. Outdoor greens in England in late springtime are heavy. They've been scarified, fertilised, fed and gently mown. Later in the summertime, if the weather has been fair and the greens are worn, you may get speeds approaching an indoor rink. To bowl on these heavy greens, you need a reset of body and mind. Think 10-pin bowling. Think of your weighted indoor bowls. Your body has to uncoil from its winter shell. And the mind has to tell the body to do that. And in doing so, it will mean a longer backswing, a longer stride forward, and a long purposeful follow through. It may also mean standing more upright. Instead of a crouch, you might have to stand more upright to make room for that backswing and the follow through. If you do not do this, your arm has to find the increased power all on its own. Your body should be totally balanced and not look as if it's straining to get more power. This can be achieved through this uncoiling process. Practice is good and do the drills that I recommended in my video. Mastering length. That is, bowl alternately to a short and then a long jack. Bowl to any point on the green and then bowl 2 feet past with the next bowl and then another 2 feet and another 2 feet. Finally, be prepared to adapt to changing conditions. A hot sunny day will speed up the green. A wet day will slow the green. Bowlers' feet trampling up and down can speed up the green. An early dew can slow the green. A change in wind strength or direction can affect your length. That's the length. Now finding the line. Indoor bowlers love the reliability of a carpet. You play a bowl and it follows a true predictable arc. But outdoors, it's a different beast. The lines can be hard to find due to uneven patches of grass and the wind. Often, the slope of the green and the wind will conspire to make one side swing and the other side go straight. The right way to read an outdoor green. Firstly, observe other players. The first few ends are crucial. Watch how your teammates and opponents' bowls behave. If everyone is swinging wide on one side, that's a warning sign. Test both hands, forehand and backhand, one side of the green, the other side of the green. Some greens, one side may be tighter than the other side. Do a roll up and use both sides to compare them. Generally, if you can get the weight of the jack on the narrow, choose a narrow one. Sometimes you'll find, however hard you try, there is not a path to the jack on one hand. It'll stay straight or swing over. That being the case, use the other hand. Use the right weight too. On slower greens, a firmer shot holds a tighter line, while a softer shot allows the natural bias to take over. How to bowl and adjust your line mid-game. You think you found the perfect line, then conditions change. Here's how to make smart adjustments during a match. If your bowls keep swinging too wide, try playing with a firmer weight or choose a narrower aiming point. If your bowls are consistently narrow, check if you're under hitting it sometimes. A short bowl takes a narrower line than a properly weighted one. If the greens speed up in the second half of the match, be ready to adjust both the line and the weight as the surface dries out. Always be ready to tweak your shot based on what the green is telling you. Finally, dealing with the British weather. British weather. 4 seasons in one day. 1 minute it's perfect bowling weather. The next you're battling wind, rain and greens that suddenly turn to treacle. If you've ever struggled to keep your bowls on track when the weather turns, stick with me. I've got the tips you need to stay in control. The rain. When the rain comes down, usually the green slows right down because the grass holds the moisture, creating more friction and making your bowls stop short of where they normally would. So obviously you need to put heavier weight on it and bowl narrower. The dampness reduces the curve, you see, so it takes a straighter line to the jack. Beware of puddles. If the rain is heavy, the water can stop on the surface and stop your bowl dead. Sometimes though, your bowl can aquaplane. I've been on greens where the bowl kind of shoots across the water, but you just have to laugh at any misfortune like that comes your way. Adjusting your grip for damp conditions. One of the biggest challenges in wet weather, and the one I hated most, is having a slippery bowl. Use a dryer or a towel to keep your hands and bowls dry at all times. Consider a grip wax before the game to put tackiness on the bowl, and that can make a big difference to your grip. Take a firmer hold on your grip, but don't overdo it. Too much tension can ruin your release. Finally, with the grip, try using a different grip. So I used to have that as my indoor, that's my indoor grip, but that sometimes makes it harder. The bowl slips out. I couldn't grip it. So I changed to a cradle grip, and there the bowl doesn't slip out of your hand so readily. Wind. Headwind. Headwind slows your bowl down, meaning the bias kicks in sooner, making your shot turn more sharply. Play slightly firmer. A tailwind speeds your bowl up, reducing the effect of the bias. Be careful not to over bowl it. And the hardest to deal with, probably the side wind. Obviously adjust your width accordingly. Remember, if you're drawing with the wind, then your drawing will swing the bowl in and add a bit of weight. If you're bowling and the wind's against your bias, it will slow your bowl down. Either way, try not to fight the wind, work with it. Finally, the most important skill for handling British weather, mental toughness. Conditions will change, sometimes mid-game. The key is staying adaptable and keeping your cool. Don't let bad weather rattle you. The rain may be dripping down your neck, your hands may be cold, but everyone is playing on the same green in the same conditions. So just stay positive. Adjust one thing at a time. If you start changing everything, weight, line, grip, you'll confuse yourself. Just change one thing. If that works, go on to another thing, but not all at one time. And finally, embrace the challenge. Think of tough weather as a chance to outplay less experienced opponents. So, there you have it, your survival guide to bowling on the great British outdoor greens. Next time the rain falls or the wind howls, don't panic. Use these tips and take control of your game. If you found this useful, hit the subscribe button for more outdoor bowls tips. And let me know in the comments, what's the trickiest green you've ever played on? I'd love to hear your stories. So thanks once again for watching, and see you soon. Goodbye.